YouTube, what's going on? So we are here in the kitchen. Definitely not the kitchen that you are probably used to seeing in the past few videos. This is not a big fancy kitchen like that one was. But it's a nice kitchen and I'm inside. I went outside earlier to try to do this and it was freezing cold and I was not having any of that. So I'm inside. The lighting's not great, but I haven't talked to you all in a while and figured I would say hi, post a video, show you what I've been up to. I don't recall if I've shown this diorama on the channel or not. I know it's all over Instagram. I think I might have done a video with this. I don't remember. All the cars, for the most part, have been shown on the channel. So I'm not really going to go too in depth on any of the castings, although I know this one has not been shown. Really nice green light tow truck. But I know this diorama has not been shown on the channel. And I know a lot of you don't follow me on Instagram, so you probably have not seen it. It's all scratch made, other than the trash cans and the gas pumps and the fire hydrant. Everything else is scratch made, and I think it's probably pretty easy to tell. I have commissioned Champion DJK to help me out with some LED lights for underneath the awning. So I think that'll look pretty good. And when I built these, it was not my intention that they connect like this. It just kind of worked out that way. Although on this side, you can see that they don't. To make this diorama was interesting because to get a 2-pump gas station, you have to allot yourself a certain amount of space. And to do that, you just have to be really careful how you orientate. I don't know if that's even a word, but you have to be careful of how you set up, how you lay it out. I know a lot of people probably get bored with a lot of my dioramas because I don't really do a lot of curved roads, at least in regards to paved roads. They're almost always straight. Part of the reason for that is because getting the sidewalks, doing the sidewalks is challenging. You know, if you look at all the dioramas that are out there for diecast, I've still yet to see anybody do a really good, realistic looking sidewalk. Even with some of those people out there that make really good, really convincing dioramas, you don't see a lot of realistic sidewalks. And this is 1/16 inch balsa wood, and it's a 36-inch strip by 3 inches wide, and it's pretty easy to work with. However, curving it, you know, doing rounded corners or to do like a curved street with the sidewalk, it would require more work. I think as my method has evolved, I could probably do it now. Because basically so this is the styrofoam board, and then I will score lines into the foam, and then I will apply Gorilla wood glue, and then I will apply the 1/16 inch balsa wood on top of that. The lines that you score into the styrofoam, what that does, it allows the glue to seep into the cracks, and then as it dries, it expands. So it grabs onto it from almost from underneath. So you get a much stronger hold. So, but what I've been doing is so after that dries, I plaster everything, and then I will take a razor blade or an X-Acto knife and I'll carve out the expansion joints. And the idea is to only carve the expansion joints into the plaster. So you got to be careful in areas where the plaster is thin, because then you end up carving into the wood itself and it never comes out clean when that happens. You can see right here, there's an example of that. And you can see here along the front part of the curb where there is some of that. So you want to do a thicker, even layer of plaster so that you can carve your expansion joints. But where I was going with that is, I'm sure I could do it now. I could just, whatever curvature of the road that I make, I could cut the balsa wood strip to match that, and then just carve curved expansion joints to follow the sidewalk. But pretty much everything I do in making these is, with the sidewalks, it's all completely self-taught. It's not anything that I learned from anybody. Dirt and scenery and foliage and all that stuff, even landscape. I've watched tons and tons of videos, how-to videos. But when you go onto YouTube, there really aren't any good videos on how to make a paved road or a sidewalk. So I'm pretty much like what you see here, I've taught myself with materials that that basically I thought to myself, well, that would probably work. And each time I do it, I feel like the result gets a little bit better. But the point is, it's been straight lines, straight sidewalks. And so that's what we have here. Kind of the same thing with scratch building buildings. I haven't done too many of them. And it's actually a really hard thing to do. This is my latest attempt. It's a pretty sad attempt. But for what I need, I think it works. If I could build out the inside, maybe print like a scale picture of the interior of a 7-Eleven or something like that. Put some signage up here. I plan on putting some signage up here to cover up some of that. But I wanted it to look like an older, not very well maintained lot and gas station. And in hindsight, this is a more modern looking building, and I probably shouldn't have done that for the look that I was going for. But when I build these dioramas, I've had a lot of people ask me if I sketch it out or if I have plans or anything like that. And I don't. I've never been that type. So what I do is I get kind of a picture in my head or an idea of what I want, and then I get the materials, and then I just put my hands to work. And I just build it as I go. But when I do dioramas like this, or with any kind of structure, whether it's a scratch-made structure or a prefabricated structure, or even if it's a model kit, I've done, like that house that I did was a model kit, I will complete the structure and paint it before I start the diorama. And that was the case with this. I made that little building and the awning, and I did that so that when I build the diorama, I know what type of space I need to work with. These styrofoam boards are great because for $10 you can get, I want to say it's like 32 square feet of surface area, and it's rigid enough that you can, it's fairly durable. They're 14 inches wide by 4 feet across. Excuse me. So the thing is, for me, I have a curio cabinet. Got frog in my throat. I have a curio cabinet that is, I want to say 12 or 13 inches deep. And I want to be able to display some of my dioramas inside of that cabinet so that I can display some of the die cast on the dioramas. And so I've been making it a point to not go any wider than what will fit in my display cabinet. And to do that, I had to make this sideways. So like when this goes on display, in my display cabinet, it'll actually display this way, which probably isn't ideal, but it's the only way that I could do it, unless I take the road off and just have the gas station, which is definitely an option, but then, you don't leave yourself any room for this sidewalk back here. Like basically the building would be all the way to the back, which probably wouldn't be too bad. But for some reason, I just always liked the idea of having a road that leads into the parking lot. Let's see. As far as the cars go, I know this has been shown on the channel. I'm pretty sure this one has. I know this one has. That's about a 5-year-old casting. By the way, pretty crazy what this car is selling for on eBay. If you can even find it. It's very, very difficult to find. I checked a couple days ago and there weren't any even listed. So really cool car. I know this one's been shown on the channel. I know the Honda Civic has. So I know all of them have. Actually, this one has not. This is a Dodge. Actually, all you purists are going to jump on me for calling this a Dodge. It's a Ram Promaster. So Chrysler has separated the Ram brand from the Dodge brand. So it's no longer a Dodge Ram, it's a Ram 1500 or 2500, or in this case a 2500 Promaster. So being a 2500, what is that, a 3/4 ton? I wonder if that makes it a Cummins. Probably not. They may not even offer that with the diesel. I don't know. Anyways, what I do know is I like the casting. I think it's actually fairly convincing. I wish they had done lens headlights. Or if you're gonna do the tampoed headlights, maybe do a little bit better job than that. But I like the overall look. The big composite molding for the front grille and bumper looks great. The side view mirrors look really good. And you can see the sculpted design of the casting is very highly detailed. They killed the wheels. The wheels look amazing. They look really good. Greenlight has been really doing a good job with the wheels on their new stuff. And I like that about Greenlight. When they come out with a new casting, they will create a new tool for the wheels. And I think they're just injection molded or cold mold. But if you look at the Cosworth Escort or the Volkswagen Golf or even the Datsun 510, the Steelies that they have for that, they're doing a really good job on their wheels. So very cool. And I prefer, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that for me personally, I prefer the silver wheels rather than the chrome wheels. To me, like, I think this would look a lot better with silver instead of chrome. In my opinion, 1:64 scale is too small to use chrome. Really anywhere. I'm not a big fan of it. Like the whole chrome front grille and everything on this, to me, it's too much. I'm not a big fan of it. And you can see with like Auto World, for example, they don't use very much chrome. It's pretty uncommon. That you'll see it from time to time, but not very often. Same thing with Tomica Limited Vintage. Almost never use chrome. And yeah, I just think that silver looks better. Anyways, so I think that's about it. I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but I have forgotten. I do have some ideas for some other dioramas. And basically, if I'm on Instagram, I took a screenshot a couple days ago. I saw a diorama that, oh, you know what it was? It was like an auto, like a parking garage. So I might give that a try. But I also really want to do a winter scene with snow. And so that's something I've always wanted to do, and I put it off because it's actually kind of difficult to develop your skills on making, because there's a lot of different things you have to learn to do. You have to learn to do the landscape, hills, valleys, dirt, rock, trees, grass, bushes. You have to learn to do all that to a level where in the right lighting, you can trick the eye. And then for me, I graduated from that into the more urban look, which is paved roads, concrete parking lots, or blacktop, gas station parking lots. And I feel like I'm at a point now where I can take the next step and try to do a winter snow scene. So there aren't, in fact, I think there's only one video that I know of. I'll have to check. There aren't many how-to videos on how to do that. I know for me, I am going to want to build out whatever the scene is. Like in this case, if I were to build a gas station in the snow, I would want to build out the gas station how I would regularly do it first. And then I would want to add all the snow features. And that means building up your sidewalk, getting everything painted, getting it all weathered, and then from there, add all the snow features. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how that comes out. And at some point, it is my plan to get more active back on the channel. And I would really like to get some editing software and start doing some how-to videos and show you guys how I make these. Because they're really easy to make. And the materials, they're expensive, I guess. I guess your initial investment would be expensive. But if you were to take $100 and buy supplies, you could buy your styrofoam bases, all your paint, your glue, your balsa wood, your trees, your grass, your dirt. I use tile grout here for dirt. It's really cheap, and it's scaled nicely. The problem if you go out and grab dirt from your backyard is you have to really sift it. So I recommend tile grout personally, but you make that initial investment of $100 and you can probably make, I don't know, 30 or 40 really nice dioramas with that initial investment. And then once you have all those supplies, you can just continuously make dioramas with the supplies because you can't buy small quantities to just build one diorama. And the paint that I use is like the cheapest Walmart 50-cent a bottle apple barrel paint or whatever it is. Every now and then I'll go to Hobby Lobby and I'll spend $1.37 on the folk art. Mostly because they have colors. There's a color from folk art. It's called Barnwood Gray. That is the best color for these dioramas, in my opinion. But it's also important to have asphalt. Although if you buy the asphalt, don't paint your road that color. A lot of people do that, and I don't think it looks realistic personally. I paint my base coat asphalt, and then I go over the top of it with a chalk paint. It's just a gray chalk paint, and then I weather it. You're also going to want pastels, or you can get weathering pigment powder. I just get pastels and I take a razor blade, shave them into dust, and then I'll dry brush, or I'll use my finger, like to get the road wear, or even parking lot wear. Like, I don't know if the light will even show this, but you can see the wear. And then I do use the asphalt for the oil stains and patchwork, stuff like that. But all the weathering on the sidewalks, that's all pastel. Only exception is I will black wash the expansion joints, which may not be the best method because sometimes you get this, which obviously that's not a great look. But pastels for weathering streets and sidewalks, they work really well. I also use them to weather the building. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you for checking out the video. Sorry for the shaky camera. But I will talk to you all at the next video.